Alright, so we're back at it again with another video. This time we're doing something a little more impromptu because we haven't gotten anything out in a little while, and it's just going to be something quick and easy that we can just throw up without any problem. It's going to be a tier list video, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be ranking the Straw Hats based on how important I think they're going to be for the rest of the Elbaf arc. Assuming we ever make it back to the Elbaf arc, meaning we'll have to finish our flashback at some point. I would think. We've already been there for a while. I really think it's going to become the longest flashback. It's going to surpass Odin at 14. I think we're currently, if I had to guess, probably at like 11 or 12 now. Right? 10 or 11, 12. So, and I think we've still minimum got a few chapters to go. So we could get closer to 20 chapters for a flashback, which would be pretty insane. But after we finish all the rock stuff, we still have to go back and see what's going on with Harald and all that. But I digress. What we're doing here, we're going to rank the Straw Hats first, based on how important I think they're going to be for the rest of the Elbaf arc. And then after that, I think I'm going to do it so far in the Elbaf arc, because it's not going to take long at all. So, based on how important they're going to be going forward, my first assumptions, right? Vivi is not going to appear, and maybe it's, I don't know if that's a general opinion from everybody, but I'd see Vivi as a Straw Hat. I think she is literally going to be joining up with them soon enough. Could be this arc. If not, it's going to be right after this arc, I'd imagine. She's with Morgans and Wapple, I still think, or right now, if I'm not mistaken. So, but nothing in Elbaf, I would guess. Excuse me. Next, honestly, in terms of people who I don't think are going to be that important, at least, I don't think Nami's going to have a whole lot to do with this arc. I'm not going to lie to you. Vivi's going to have the least, because I don't even know if she's going to appear. But I don't think Nami's going to be stand out doing anything crazy, just like, I'd say the same with Usopp, but I think Usopp should actually have a lot in this arc since it's Elbaf, and he's been talked up to do stuff with the Giants and wanting to go to Elbaf, and so I would think it would be S, but I don't see that based on how the story's going, so I'm going to put Usopp in the A tier. Next, Robin, S tier, for sure. She's got all kinds of stuff from, like, the Void Sentry to find out about. She's got the library to go through with stuff from Ohara. We've got the, whatever it was called, I can't remember, the big image, whatever we want to call that, like the etching on the wall that Frankie saw. She has to go through and see that at some point and kind of figure out what that is. She's going to be very, very important for the end of this arc. Another one up there in that same boat, Luffy, for sure. Probably more important because he's the MC, and he's probably going to be the main one laying down damage on Emu Gunko, I guess, and, excuse me, Gunko, maybe, and a bunch of the Gods Knights. Right after them, I would assume Zoro would be in a similar boat, as he's going to be one of the few people who can damage them. I would put him a little lower than Robin, based on that's all that I think he's going to do. I'm sure Luffy's going to have more relevance in being the sun god, and maybe being able to undami reversey people has been one of the going fan theories, that he's going to be like the white pieces on the board, while the black pieces are what Emu's playing. After that, I really don't know how important I think some of these are going to be. Brook should be S tier important. I'm going to put him above Zoro. He's not going to be combat important, but we do know for a fact that he has something to do with Gunko in their past. So we're going to probably get a lot of Brook's past coming up at some point in Elbaf, which means another flashback in Elbaf. If not, maybe at the end of Elbaf leaving, we're going to get into it. Who knows? I would like to think it's going to happen as stuff is unfolding with Gunko, but we'll see. So he's definitely going to be pretty important. I wish Usopp was up there. You would think he would be, but he just doesn't seem to be that important in this arc. I'd say Zoro fulfilled that same area in Wano. Zoro was A to S, I'd say, in Wano. And you would think Wano would be massive Zoro arc. But I'd say he was probably A or S tier in terms of total importance. Jinbei, probably not going to be doing a lot. Probably C tier. I don't see him doing anything specific outside of trying to do what he normally does and just helping the crew and defending people where he can. Frankie, I'm going to put in the A tier with Usopp solely because I believe he's going to probably make use of some of the old tech like Vegapunk that they have on Elbaf. Or if not, maybe he's going to in some way, he might maybe be the one who kind of gets at least Robin to go to the image that she has to look over. I can't remember what it's called. But I would think he could have more importance to the arc. Probably not as much as Usopp, but I would like to think he's going to be up there. Chopper has actually already been pretty useful in the arc, going to save Scopper out of his own volition and all. Very cool on him. But going forward, I don't know what else he's going to do. So I'm going to put him in B tier. Other than keep Scopper alive, I don't see Chopper doing a whole lot. So B tier, just kind of just getting there. Sanji, I'm going to put in that same boat. As much as I want to put him on A tier, I'll be honest, we don't know if he's going to be able to damage the God's Knight, so he's not going to be doing much more than Jinbei, if that. But I think he might, because we didn't get a definitive no that he's not going to be able to do anything or that he doesn't have the hockey needed. So, we'll see. That's about where I'm at with going forward in the Elbaf arc, about how important I think the Straw Hats are going to be. Excuse me. Next, I'll reset it, and I'll go ahead and do one real fast based on how important I think they have been so far in the arc. Started off, Luffy, very important, very clearly, extremely important. Robin, S tier, super important. They have both been extremely pivotal in this arc right now, with everything going on. Chopper, A tier, easy. He saves Scopper, and that's a big thing already. He's pretty. I mean, that's pretty awesome out of his own. Again, his own volition. Vivi, nothing. She's not even there. I'll be honest. If I remember correctly, Usopp has done literally jack squat of nothing, right? He's gotten drunk and shouted, and I don't think he's done anything else. We'll put him in C because he's technically done more than nothing, which is what Vivi's done. I'm going to put Brook in the A tier. While he hasn't, I'd say, done a ton, maybe B tier. I know he's going to be important going forward, but I don't really think I can place him much higher than B because I feel like he's done more than Usopp. I can't recall specifically, but I feel like he was involved in a fight somewhere. After that, I'd say Frankie was A tier important. He found, or he was shown, I think, taken to the lab where Vegapunk found that old tech. And then to the etching, or whatever it was on the wall, the painting, rather. Excuse me. So, pretty important so far. Sanji, B tier with Brook, probably. I feel like he's done more than Usopp, but nothing specific. Zoro, same boat. Literally with them. I think they're all about in the same area of doing not a lot that I can recall, but I think more than Usopp, which is where Nami would go. And Jinbei is actually going to go in that same boat, because I can't recall Jinbei doing much specifically at all this arc. So this is about where I'd put them in terms of so far in Elbaf. The only two who really stayed the same that I can note, other than Vivi, of course, is pretty much that Luffy and Robin have been pretty key in this arc, and they're going to continue to be very pivotal in this arc going forward. So we'll kind of have to see where we go. We were on a break this last week because of, I believe it was said it had something to do with Oda's health, so I really hope Oda's doing better. I believe we are getting a chapter here in the next coming days, and then I believe we're on a scheduled break next week. So odds are we're going to be getting a chapter this week, and then maybe one more chapter in October, maybe two. If we're lucky, it'll be two, because we might be getting one chapter probably on the 9th or the 10th, and then we'll probably get another one by the 23rd or 4th, so we might get a third one. So we might get 3 chapters this month if we're real lucky. We'll see. But we're winding down to the end of the year. We know we start getting less chapters typically in holiday season with everything going on and all the holidays. So I would expect us to not get that many more chapters this year. So that being said, I think we might honestly be in the flashback for the rest of 2025. It's kind of crazy because I feel like we've been in this flashback for most of this year. I know we haven't, but for a lot of this year, I feel like we've been there. It's been a little while. But anyways, I just wanted to make a nice short video. I tell you what, I like to try to keep my videos right around 10 or so minutes at the minimum, so we'll knock out one more quick tier list involving the Straw Hats right off the dome. The only thing I can think of is trying to rank them based on... I could rank them based on how much I like them, but that might be tougher than a minute task. Alright, let's give it a shot. Very quick. See how quick I can do it. My opinions of the Straw Hats, how much I like them. Luffy, easily S tier, one of my favorites. I love Brook as well. He's got to be S tier. I think Frankie, for me, is probably A tier. I think Jinbei is probably, unfortunately, just in the B tier. Nami is also B tier, but higher than Jinbei. Actually, I'd probably put Jinbei in C tier by that logic. Actually, I think I like Nami in the A tier with Frankie. Vivi's fine. She's really cool, but because she hasn't been with the Straw Hats for most of the journey, I'm going to put her down in the D tier just because she hasn't gotten to do a lot. Chopper, I used to like a whole lot. I like him a lot less in the post or in the post time skip. Usopp's great. Amazing Straw Hat. I would probably put him at least in the A tier with Nami. Sanji, again, A tier Straw Hat. Zoro for me is an S tier Straw Hat. I love him, and I would put Robin right in the B tier. Where, as a whole, I like her character a lot more, but I enjoy some of the first East Blue Straw Hats a lot. I really think Frankie's awesome, so I like him a lot. But I think I like Robin a little less than them, all in all, for some reason. And then I'd say post-time skip Chopper and Jinbei are pretty explanatory, and how Jinbei hasn't been with us that long, but he is pretty cool, and Chopper being post-time skip Chopper is just more for merch than anything. And Vivi hasn't done much, so I can't do much with her. So, anyways, we'll cut it off there. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did and you made it this far, you've made it all the way to the end, I really appreciate you sticking around. Go ahead and give this video a like. You can go ahead and comment. Let me know where you would have ranked the Straw Hats, or maybe who your favorite Straw Hats are. Maybe give me an idea for another video or something you'd like to see me put up. And then if you want, go ahead and share the video on any platform. So like, comment, guys, subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to let me know that you actually like the content and you want to see more. And I hope everybody's had a great week or two since my last video. I hope everybody has a good week or two to come. And I hope everybody can kind of just, everything starts going well for everybody. So anyways, y'all have a good one, guys. Later.